So, a stroke is an injury to the brain. It happens because blood circulation to the brain is disturbed. And the brain is a very important but very fragile organ in our bodies. And if you lose blood flow to your brain, you will be unconscious within a few seconds, and your brain tissue will begin to die within about 3 or 4 minutes.
There are two major types of stroke. By far, most strokes are ischemic in nature. An ischemic stroke is when there's a blockage of a blood vessel going to the brain. I use the analogy of a water hose. If you have a water hose that's responsible for watering a flower bed, if you have a blockage or a kink in that water hose, you're going to cut off the water supply to that flower bed, and that's going to lead to death of your flowers. Likewise, in the brain, if you have a blockage of an artery going to the brain, you're going to cut off the blood supply, and that will lead to permanent damage or death of the nerve cells supplied by that particular artery.
And as they begin to die, the function that those brain cells have begins to be lost. So if the blood flow is cut off to the area that controls language, you may not be able to speak anymore. You may not be able to understand what's said to you.
If someone is sitting or having a conversation, a person may develop garbled speech, have difficulty getting his or her words out.
If it's an area of the brain that controls how you move your right arm, well, then you'll lose the ability to move your right arm in the same way. The symptoms you have depend on which part of the brain are affected.
87% of all strokes are due to blockage of a blood vessel in the brain, or ischemia. The other 13% is due to rupture of a blood vessel. This is called a hemorrhage.
Blood flow is really good for the brain as long as it's in the arteries, but when blood gets out of the arteries, it acts almost like battery acid on the brain. It causes a lot of injury to the brain.